Thanks for joining me, Scott Ryan here. Listening to the Blaze Radio Network today, I understand that Barack Obama's polls are at an all-time low, something like 44 to 45%, which I think it's great to be satisfied from that standpoint. I mean, it does feel good to see that some in the public might be realizing what we've always known, that his intent has always been to destroy the fabric of this society and to destroy the foundations of this country, our Constitution, the family unit, the values upon which we rest, because that is the only way that a statist ideologue can get the power, the tyrannical power that they need, that they crave, because they're evil. And sorry, I'm not apologizing. He's evil. I'm just calling it as evil is as evil does. I know he's charming, but so is Lucifer, the angel of light. And Obama is so adroit at emulating Lucifer, you almost wonder whether they share the same DNA. Nevertheless, don't get too excited. Don't misinterpret what those poll numbers mean. Barack Hussein Obama is more powerful now than he has ever been in his entire presidency. He has set the table, the pathway, the legislation, the mechanisms for destruction, for this country to implode upon itself. He is giving away our secrets. He's, as you've seen, promising Vladimir Putin more cooperation in his re-election. We know if anyone cared to do their due diligence, if we had we have about maybe 5 to 10 legitimate statesmen who are actual patriots in the entire Congress, who have the balls, the intestinal fortitude, and have the integrity to take this guy to task and to actually go full-fledged prosecution. They'll take what they can get. But Obama knows, despite any polls, that he can do whatever he wants. That's where his power is. Polls are irrelevant. This isn't about re-election. This country's going to implode, and Obama in the second term is doing everything he can and could not give a damn about the polls when he knows that people like John Boehner and people like Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, John McCain, did I say John McCain? When he knows that these are the cowards, useless legacy-seeking cowards that are running the opposition party, the now undermined and basically destroyed Republican Party, he knows any rhetoric is bluffing. He knows that if our founding fathers, the men who founded this country, who put their lives and their sacred honor, pledged it all for this country and these principles, if they were in this Congress right now, somehow miraculously supplanted, with the values that they had and the knowledge, the brilliance that they had, this man, Barack Obama, he would be facing, instead of the debate of will Holder resign or who might resign, the debate would be, first of all, they would be prosecuting him criminally because the empirical evidence, the circumstantial evidence, it all screams treason. So they would be prosecuting him, and the only debate would be the form of punishment if convicted, which with treason, it's basically the same with any country. It's always been capital punishment. That would be the debate we'd be having if we had men of integrity who believed in the Constitution that they happened to write and author. But no, Obama knows that these legacy-seeking cowards won't even utter the word impeachment. Forget the fact that we wouldn't even get them removed, but they don't even have the spine or the integrity or the fortitude to even say the word impeachment, which is wholly, egregiously inadequate for what should be sought right now if the scales were to be removed from the eyes of these cowards running the Congress. That's what we'd be talking about. Obama doesn't care because checks and balances are dead. He has carte blanche to do whatever he wants. He will bring about the destruction of this nation. This federal government is done. We've got Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Trey Gowdy, Tim Scott. That's 5 that I can count that are actual patriots that have the balls, the conviction, who know what it means to be an American, that aren't looking out for themselves, that really love this country. There may be a few more, but I can think of 5. So don't get too focused on the poll numbers, because as good as it might feel, nobody's going to do anything about it, and Obama knows, and his plan will be carried out, and you will see the implosion of this nation. You will see the direct assault on all of your constitutional rights, from your right to bear arms to your right to privacy. We've seen it. And I went on vacation for a few weeks. I mean, before I went on vacation, the questions being asked in the media by the useless pundits, the conservative pundits like Karl Rove and Dick Morris, these people, they're asking the question of whether, in light of the NSA spying scandals, the IRS scandals, the DOJ sending out, I mean, we find out they're paying to send people to protest in Sanford, Florida, to sow discord with our tax dollars. When you look at all the scandals and Fast and Furious and all of those aforementioned, they were asking the question of whether Holder would resign. And I said emphatically then, there is no way that Obama would allow Holder to resign, because he will not show any sign of weakness. He has no reason to, because once this stuff blows over and he is inoculated, he will be more powerful than ever. And that is exactly what happened. A few weeks went by. I got back from vacation. Nobody is talking about those scandals. This guy is the master of inoculation. His propensity and knowledge of how to implement evil is unparalleled in human history, I believe. I mean, when all's said and done. How many people manage to get a memoir of themselves published before anybody even knows who the hell they are? I mean, years before, when he was a state legislature, nobody even knew who he was. He's inoculating himself for his cocaine usage, to the point where the media during the presidential race, despite the fact that races have ended based upon rumors of marijuana smoking at one point in their life, this guy wrote in a book that nobody read except for ultra leftists in the media, perhaps, talking about his cocaine usage, which begged the question: how much cocaine have you used? When did you stop using it? What kind did you use? None of those questions were even asked. Never by any of the frauds in our media during that time. You imagine that. The guy's elected president. That stuff's out there. But it gave them an excuse. It inoculated him, because the media could not ask any of those questions and ignore the issue. And then if they're ever called upon it, they could say, oh, well, that was old news. That was published out in books years ago. This is the kind of thing this guy does. And it's absolutely amazing. It's like the Snowden thing. It's almost like Snowden did him a favor. I mean, I don't believe that's conspiracy in the physical sense. Like Obama said, okay, we're going to send out this guy Snowden, and he's going to go out there and leak all this stuff to inoculate me, and then divert the attention from what I did to the person who leaked it, and it'll all go away, and then I'll be totally and we'll be more powerful than ever. That is what happened, because I remember going on vacation. Before vacation, these were huge scandals. I didn't believe any consequence, because I know the way the evil operates. I know how adroit they are at it. This is what I saw coming, but sure enough, I come back from vacation. Over the period of 2 weeks, I was seeing in the media nothing discussed but Snowden. And so it becomes about Snowden. Forget about the egregious crimes being committed, the abuse of power and the treason by this administration. And these are only a few agencies that we know about. If you look at all the other agencies, I guarantee you're going to find the same type of collusion and abuse by this administration. Nevertheless, it succeeded. It's almost like abortion. When you go out, if you're protesting partial birth abortion or abortion of any kind, and you've done this over the years, as I have, you see, like, if you show people graphs about how it is done, how barbaric it is, or dare show them pictures of aborted babies that look like the piles of Jews that we would see as a result of the Nazis killing and gassing the Jews. These were similar pictures. I mean, they're voluminous in supply of dead babies with their dismembered parts laying all over the place. And you see the pictures of them. It's very similar. But if you tried to show anyone those or tried to advertise it somewhere, nobody would accept it, and you would be lambasted, vilified, and made out to be this evil person for daring to show that stuff. So insensitive. To expose the people who are committing the egregious, barbaric murders. That's the kind of sick society that we live in. It's about the people who expose it now. Now they're the bad guys, not the people who perpetrate the crimes. They're the heroes. That's the upside down evil world that we live in. Good is evil, evil is good, as the Bible said would happen. But that's how this president, this saboteur, operates. And we saw it with Snowden. Every scandal is disappearing. It has disappeared. Some people are trying to resurrect it, maybe because they see Obama's polls and numbers are down. This guy goes on the offense, and he knows that these guys, I don't know if he's blackmailing Boehner and Lindsey Graham and McCain, all these guys. He might as well be. I mean, I don't know if he has a legion of hookers who seduce these guys, and he has pictures of them and God knows what compromising situations. But the way they act, he might as well have it, or they might as well have done those things, because he has total power over them. He knows he can do anything he wants. There is no crime, no degree of evidence whatsoever fathomable that he can be caught with where these guys would do a damn thing. They're ballless. We have no checks and balances. That's why we need to hang together as the states. The only hope that we have is to allow these great patriots like Tim Scott, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Trey Gowdy, take advantage of what they're doing. They're buying time for us to further buttress our state and local governments. That's been my mantra for the last few years, because it is dead. This country is not its government, but this government is done. We need to coalesce. If you haven't fled Sodom yet and you live in a blue state, don't wait till it becomes the next Detroit. Get your assets out of there and get them to the Bible Belt. Get them to the South. The more you come here, the more we are together, the more we can work together and help each other and defend each other and take care of one another. We need to coalesce, and we need more God-fearing patriots to run for state and local offices and regard those as the most important. None of this celebrity bullcrap. What's destroyed this country is this career politician mentality of how we need to start at the local level, because the ultimate prize someday is to be a federal government legislature. That's not the way this country was founded. That's not the way it was for the first 150 years. The most power, the biggest tax take by far was the local government, followed by the state, and last was the federal. The least powerful, the least prestigious, the least tax take, and the reason is because the founding fathers wanted the power at the base where it can be held in check. We need a new way of thinking. We need a new way of operating. We need you to come to the South, come to the Bible Belt, come to Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma. We need get out of the north, get out of the west, the northwest. It's time to work together before it's too late. Stop wasting time. Don't delude yourself any further to think that the 2016 presidential election is going to make any difference. I mean, at the rate that this man who's hijacked this country, he has us pointed downward. We are falling headlong in descent. We don't have time to think about 2016. We need to deal with now, and we need to use the time that God has given us through these great patriots who are basically at the Alamo or Little Bighorn right now. They're buying us time in a battle that is over. It is lost at the federal level. Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Ryan.